AskReddit by Turbulent Air. What is the most overrated travel destination? Hollywood Boulevard. It's crowded, full of homeless people, and kind of smells like pee. Edit. To make it clearer which part of Los Angeles I've found overrated. Kinda? Nah, it certainly smells like pee. Come back after a slight drizzle for that potent, freshly rehydrated piss scent. Plymouth Rock. It's a rock. It's not just a rock. Sniff. It's a boulder : Dubai. Dubai has always sounded like a holiday in materialistic hell. Dubai. It sucks so bad, there is nothing to do, and no culture. Unless you like gaudy designer bullshit or laying by the pool. Seems like an even worse version of Las Vegas, with no blackjack or hookers. I live in Nashville and I think that's my answer. Tourists only go on Broadway and watch the same lame cover bands at the same lame overpriced bars. Go outside the Broadway strip FFS. Nashville has so much else to offer. I was just there for a bachelor party and had an absolute blast rocking out to a cover band. It was fun for one short weekend. Now I've done it and probably don't need to do it again. Branson. I do not get it. It's about 4 hours from me and literally everyone I know goes there on vacation. It is the go-to vacation destination for like 75% of people I know. They go there at least once a year. If they only can take one vacation, they go to Branson. I do not get the appeal at all. Everything there just feels incredibly fake. Anywhere described as like Vegas if it was run by Ned Flanders is gonna be a hard pass from me. Mykonos. There are better and more affordable alternatives. Go to Crete instead. It has the beaches and quaint towns and ancient history. Plus the island is huge so there is a ton to see and do. I would go back to Crete in a heartbeat. Niagara Falls. NY is not a nice place. The town itself is a dump, but the falls themselves are nothing short of spectacular. Well worth spending a half day there if you're in that part of the country. Sometimes I wonder what people imagine will happen in a lot of these places. Tulum Cancun by Maldives, it's only for people who like laying by the pool or on the beach. Or snorkeling and diving. Or party. Really repetitive. Did people imagine that some completely untold, never heard before, experience would happen to them? Mallorca is great for road cycling, for example. Once you leave Palma it's just a beautiful Mediterranean island with varied terrain and decent weather year round. Disney World. I had to wait in line just to type this. Not to mention you turn into a human cash dispenser the moment you step foot in those parks. Honestly, given the chance, I'd gladly travel to 90% of the places being mentioned here. That's the spirit. Ignore the haters and form your own opinions. But, bad or meh, that's part of the joy of traveling. Honestly, Los Angeles. But not because it sucks, I love LA. I just think you need to live here to truly get what the city has to offer. If you come as a tourist you squeeze in a bunch of random touristy things and don't get to really experience the city for what it is. It comes down to not trying to do it all and not falling for being a tourist. I went to Santa Monica and hit up a local deli for hotel snacks. Rode hotel bikes to Venice. Walked to restaurants in Santa Monica. Went hiking up into the hills. Took one trip to Malibu to hike and go to the beach there. Was great. Hollywood. Egypt in general. We enjoyed Egypt, but our Syrian friends live there and took us to the most amazing places and fended off the beggars fixers. Without them, it would have been a stress holiday. Miami. Miami is all hype. Ocean Drive and Lincoln are overrated AF. But the best damned Cuban food is in Hialeah, so there's that. Jamaica. It's sketch AF. In Jamaica it's best to stay at a resort. It's not an island where you want to go rent an Airbnb, a rental car and live like a local like you can on a lot of islands in the Caribbean. There are a lot of parts that are super dangerous. I have a Jamaican friend who grew up in Kingston and she had her wedding at the Half Moon Bay Resort and honeymooned at another resort in Negril. That is, even people from there go to the resorts when they want to be guaranteed a good time. To round this out with the opposite answer, just to inspire anyone to go, Glacier National Park is absolutely worth it. The US National Parks system is our one crowning jewel, or 64 crowning jewels, really. Don't miss out on these beautiful places. Although Old Faithful, Yellowstone, is kinda mid. The other, surrounding geysers and formations are a lot cooler. We couldn't go see them at the time because the boardwalk does not allow dogs. Also, word to the wise, most of the national parks don't allow dogs. Wildlife and all that. Go visit your national parks. Co-signing this. Yosemite was mind-blowing, and though the sheer size of the Grand Canyon scared me, the rest of the park was beautiful. Scottsdale, my hometown, will always be home, but I can't believe people go there as a destination. Good golf there and Sedona is pretty close by. I feel like 90% of the posts in this thread are just people going places they aren't compatible with. Like if you have very little interest in art or high-end cuisine, then you probably aren't going to like Paris. Hate crowds, lights and noise? Probably not gonna like Vegas. Or people writing about places that they've never been to. The Dominican Republic. Sure, the resort is nice. If you leave for an excursion, count your blessings before you drive on any road in that hellhole. Drinking and driving is rampant there. My driver stopped at a drive-through bar. Fucking wild. Only personal experience. Dubai and Bali. Probably not a hot take, but very few places are bad to travel to. I'm from a town of 5k in SE, Oklahoma. Growing up there makes you appreciate just about everything from anywhere else. Being incompatible with a place doesn't make it overrated. Atlanta. Don't get me wrong. I live here and I love this city. But Atlanta is, as many say, a great place to live, but you wouldn't want to visit. As a tourist, it sucks. There are few interesting things to do and see as tourist that you couldn't get elsewhere, apart from some more niche interests. Living here is great, and there's so much the city has to offer to its locals in terms of quality of life, but I always tell my friends in other states, countries to skip Atlanta and just go to Nick or Chicago for the big city tourism experience. That's the way I felt about Charlotte. Great place to live for 14 years, but not somewhere to take a vacation. Lake Havasu, AZ. It's a shitty lake in a shit town that everyone has convinced themselves is a nice place to be because they live in the desert and it sucks there. Cancun. It's a shady town. Everybody is out to rip you a new one. From the taxi drivers to the waiters. You go to a fancy steakhouse, order a bottle of wine, they bring you a more expensive one. You go to a taco stand, the price on the board don't match the one on the ticket. In nearly every Latin American country, if you're white, you're gonna get gringo taxed. However, everything is negotiable, and you can whittle the price of anything down. Speaking Spanish is a huge boon to your negotiating. I realize that's not really everyone's idea of fun, but you can pay the Mexican price if you're willing to walk away.